Hey y'all, welcome back to the Camping Loop. Look at this beautiful January wintertime weather. We are over here at the RV today showing you guys everything you need to be checking for to make sure you have no problems in the spring. We are checking for mice, we are checking roof leaks, and we are checking seals. Stay tuned, we'll show you everything you need to know. Alright guys, let's jump right into it. Like I said, we haven't been here in about a month or so. We have got some snow, nothing like they've gotten over there in the Buffalo area, God bless them. But first thing I like to check for when we get here is any sort of feet print in the snow. It's going to be your first indication if you got any sort of little mice or chipmunks or squirrels or any sort of little critters trying to get in and out of here and make this place theirs for the winter. We'll post a video up here for you guys to check out on how to prevent that in the first place. There's some really good tips in there, so be sure to check that out. But the number one thing I do is just go around, especially after a fresh snow. It's going to be your first indication if you guys got an actual rodent problem. I don't see anything here now. I kind of already went through it to make sure everything looks good. I don't see any issues, so let's move on to number two. Alright guys, the second thing I like to do is walk around and check out any door seams, window seals, corners, things like that. Certainly with the cold weather, what can happen is if like you get a drip coming down here, this could split apart after it freezes. I don't see anything too crazy. I did notice this besides these horrible black streaks that we're going to tackle next week. But I did notice that this is pulling away here a little bit. I'm not thrilled about it. I did try to push it back in. I think I'm going to go ahead and order a new seal for this. These 17Bs have a horrible design where the gutter drips right down directly into the storage box here. We haven't had any issues with ours as far as that, but I don't like the way that this seal is sitting in here, so I am going to go ahead and order a new one. But it's always a good idea to go around, check everything, make sure that there's no issues as far as any seals. This is something that can even be done while you guys are out here looking for feet print. I don't see anything on this camper other than these horrible black streaks. I know that it's supposed to warm up into the 50s next week, so hopefully we get a chance to show you guys how to wash these properly. I got a real good solution for these that works great. But again, make sure you're checking all these seals. Everything looks good, especially around the windows and corners and doors like that. If you see an issue, definitely something you guys want to address. You don't want to let that go all winter. Alright guys, step 3. Next thing I like to do is refresh this rodent spray. We've talked about how much we love this stuff in other videos. Guys, we've been using this stuff for years. It's a Tomcat rodent repellent. You pick it up at Home Depot. I think it's $7 or $8 a can. Like I said, we've been using this stuff for years. It's what is it? It's a peppermint oil, a cinnamon oil, a garlic oil, and some other things that I can't pronounce. But I'll tell you what, it works unbelievably well. We go ahead and spread it all around the frame here. Spray it on your tires, spray it on your gas line, spray it on everything else. I wouldn't recommend using it inside just because you don't want that lingering odor. But it's always a good idea. This stuff, I don't know. It says it lasts 90 days. I like to refresh it halfway through the winter. Again, we've been doing it for years. We haven't had any issues, so it's a good idea. Make sure you pick up some of this stuff. Spray it all around, especially if you have issues with mice in the camper. Alright guys, inside. Once you've checked all your corners outside and your seams and your seals, and make sure those are all good. Another thing you want to be checking for are any signs of leaks on the inside. Good idea is to make sure you're also checking like inside of these cupboards, back in the corners. That's a lot of times where things are going to start. So we always make sure we check all those. I don't see anything in here now that looks bad. Make sure you're checking inside your bathrooms, all the corners, around any skylights, things like that. I don't see any leaks here. Obviously, if you see something going on, a wet spot, a damp spot, a brown spot, that's something that you're going to want to get addressed right away. I would not let it go for the rest of the winter. Alright guys, another thing we want to be checking for while we're inside these are any signs of mouse droppings in the stove, inside cupboards, along the floor, things like that. If you have traps set, you want to double check your traps. Make sure that you're refreshing bounce sheets. I got some out in the truck that we're going to throw in here just to kind of freshen everything up. But one of the biggest obstacles you guys are going to run into, again, is mice inside the camper. It's not something you want to deal with. make sure you check that video out earlier that we posted up there for you guys to see. It's going to walk you through step by step on things you can do to avoid this in the first place. Everything looks good in here. Again, we haven't been here in about a month. I don't see any issues in here. We're going to post a video up here for you guys to check out on things you should and shouldn't be doing when you're storing these campers away for the winter time. Be sure to check that out. It's going to have a lot of useful tips in there. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week.